Welcome to Swords and Hammers. Truth comes clothed in tales, and the soul remembers what the mind alone forgets. The world is loud, but for the next few minutes, it can wait. Take a moment. Settle yourself. Listen well. Come, let us begin. The Parliament of Beasts. A fable of the tongue's true weight. Long ago, when the world was younger and animals still gathered in council, the beasts of field and forest convened their great parliament beneath the ancient oak. They came with a question that had troubled them since the day speech first entered the world. What is the most powerful force in all creation? The lion, golden-maned and magnificent, rose first. Surely it is strength, he declared, flexing his mighty claws. With strength, I rule the savannah. With strength, mountains are moved and enemies scattered. What can stand against raw power? The eagle, perched high above, spread her wings until they blocked the sun. Vision, she countered. From my height, I see what others cannot. The storm before it arrives, the prey before it knows it is hunted, the path through the mountain pass. Power blind is power wasted. The elephant, eldest among them, swayed his great head slowly. Memory, he said in his deep, rumbling voice. I remember every path to water through 7 seasons of drought. I remember every friend and every betrayal. I carry the stories of my ancestors in my bones. Without memory, we are leaves blown by wind, learning nothing, building nothing. The fox, sleek and copper-bright, laughed. Cleverness without question. The lion's strength I avoid. The eagle's sight I evade. The elephant's memory I outlast. With wit, the small overcome the great. The weak confound the strong. Back and forth they argued as the sun traced its arc across the sky. The horse spoke for speed, the beaver for industriousness, the ant for cooperation, the peacock for beauty. Each beast proclaimed its gift supreme, and none would yield. At last they noticed the serpent, coiled silent in the oak's roots, who had not spoken. And you, serpent? Asked the lion somewhat mockingly. What power do you claim? You have no legs for speed, no claws for battle, no wings for flight. What makes you mighty? The serpent raised his head, tongue flickering. I need claim nothing, he said smoothly, for I have already proven my power. With neither claw nor wing, neither strength nor beauty, I have conquered you all. The beasts laughed. Conquered us? You dream, crawler. How could you conquer this assembly? Tell me, said the serpent, why does the wolf no longer hunt with the dog? The wolf and dog glared at each other across the circle. 3 seasons passed. The wolf had spread a tail that the dog had grown soft, corrupted by scraps from human tables. The dog had responded that the wolf was a savage who would eat his own cubs in lean times. They had not spoken since. And why, continued the serpent, does the crow no longer fly with the dove? The 2 birds sat at opposite ends of their perch. The crow had whispered that the dove's famous peace was merely cowardice. The dove had replied that the crow's cleverness was simply greed wrapped in black feathers. Their friendship had shattered like ice in spring. Shall I continue? The serpent asked. Why the horse no longer runs with the deer? Why the beaver no longer builds near the otter? Why the bear no longer shares honey with the badger. Each division began with words. Words I helped shape. Words I helped carry. Words I helped plant in the fertile soil of pride and fear. The Parliament fell silent, a terrible understanding dawning. You see, the serpent continued, his voice soft as silk over stone. The tongue needs no muscle to tear flesh, no talon to pierce heart, no venom to poison blood. Words alone suffice. With my tongue, I have separated friends who faced dangers together. With my tongue, I have made brothers into enemies. With my tongue, I have stolen peace from your nights and trust from your days. The owl, who had watched all this in silence, finally spoke from her branch. Then we have our answer, though not as expected. The tongue is indeed the most powerful force, not for the good it might do, but for the evil it so easily accomplishes. Wait, said a small voice from beneath a leaf. All eyes turned to find its source, a tiny cricket, smallest creature in the Parliament. May I speak? The cricket asked. The lion nearly laughed. What wisdom could you possibly offer, you who could fit on my smallest claw? But the elephant raised his trunk for silence. Let her speak. Sometimes the smallest voices carry the greatest truths. The cricket emerged fully into view. The serpent speaks truth, but only half-truth. Yes, I have heard his whispers in the grass, spreading like fire through dry leaves. But I have heard other tongues as well. She turned to the wolf and dog. Wolf, do you remember the winter when your leg was caught in the hunter's trap? Who ran through 3 territories to find help? Who howled until his throat was raw, calling others to your aid? The wolf's ears lowered. The dog did. And dog, when the humans drove you out for refusing to attack an innocent man, who offered you shelter and shared his hunt? The dog's tail drooped. The wolf did. The cricket continued, her small voice growing stronger. Crow and dove, you have forgotten how you once sang together, one the harmony to the other's melody, teaching the young birds that different voices can create beauty together. Horse and deer, you ran as one herd when the fires came, each trusting the other's speed and instinct. Beaver and otter, your joined engineering saved the marsh when the drought came. She paused, letting her words settle like seeds in soil. The tongue that divides can also unite. The tongue that wounds can also heal. The tongue that lies can also speak truth. The power is the same, only the choice differs. The serpent hissed, pretty words, cricket. But look at them. My work remains. The divisions stand. Words once spoken cannot be unspoken. True, said the cricket. But new words can be spoken. Watch. She turned to the wolf and dog. Wolf, speak truth now. Not about the dog's failings, but about his faithfulness. Dog, tell not of the wolf's savagery, but of his courage. The wolf struggled, then said slowly, The dog has never broken a promise, not once in all our years. When he says he will guard, he guards. When he says he will return, he returns. The dog added, voice thick, The wolf fears nothing when defending those he loves. I have seen him face bears, twice his size, to protect the pack's young. Something changed in the air between them. The cricket continued around the circle, drawing from each beast not accusations, but acknowledgments, not grievances, but gratitude. The horse spoke of the deer's grace that had taught him to run with joy, not just speed. The deer honored the horse's strength that had pulled fallen trees from blocked paths. The crow admitted the dove's courage in flying through storms to carry messages of hope. The dove praised the crow's intelligence that had solved disputes with wisdom. As each spoke, the serpent seemed to diminish, pulling tighter into his coils. "You see," the cricket said, "the tongue's power remains constant, but we choose whether it builds or burns. Every word is a seed. We decide whether we plant thorns or fruit trees." The serpent understood the tongue's might, but used it for destruction. His power was real, but it was the power of death, not life. The owl nodded slowly. "Then we have learned 2 truths today. First, that the tongue is indeed the mightiest force, able to accomplish what strength, speed, and wit cannot. Second, that with such power comes the weight of choice, to bless or curse, to heal or harm, to build up or tear down." The Parliament murmured agreement, but the serpent raised his head once more. "Fine words, cricket, but I remain. Tomorrow, next season, next year, I will whisper again. Your unity is temporary. My divisions are eternal." The cricket met his gaze steadily. "Perhaps. But now they know your weapon. Now they understand that every whisper you speak, they can counter with truth. Every division you create, they can bridge with kindness. Every poison you spread, they can neutralize with wisdom. You have taught them, Serpent, the very lesson you never meant to teach, that words have power, and therefore words must be chosen with care." She addressed the Parliament one last time. "From this day forward, let every beast guard their tongue as they would guard their young. Let them remember that death and life are in the power of the tongue. Let them speak as those who know their words will echo through generations." The fox, clever as always, asked, "But cricket, how do we know which words to speak? How do we choose between all the words that crowd our mouths?" The cricket replied, "Before you speak, pass your words through 3 gates. First ask, are they true? Second, are they necessary? Third, are they kind? If words cannot pass through at least 2 of these gates, let them die unspoken. Better to be thought foolish in silence than proven foolish in speech." The elephant, with his long memory, asked, "And what of words already spoken in haste or anger? What of wounds already made?" "For those," said the cricket, "speak new words. Words of acknowledgement. I was wrong. Words of responsibility. I am sorry. Words of hope. Can we begin again? These words are small keys that open great doors. They cannot erase the past, but they can write a different future." As the sun set behind the hills, painting the sky in shades of amber and rose, the Parliament began to disperse, but differently than they had come. The wolf and dog left together, talking quietly. The crow and dove shared the same branch for their journey home. The horse and deer ran side by side, and their running was like a dance. The serpent slithered away alone, understanding that his power, while still present, had been exposed and therefore diminished. Where once he had worked in shadow, now light had been cast upon his methods. The cricket remained beneath the oak as the last beast departed. The owl, about to take flight, paused. "Tell me truly, cricket," she said. "Such wisdom, from one so small. How came you by it?" The cricket was quiet for a moment, then replied, "I am small, owl, so I must listen more than I speak. I have no strength to impose my will, so I must use words carefully, sparingly, wisely. And in my smallness, I have learned what the mighty often forget, that the tongue, tiny though it is, turns the whole course of life, just as the smallest spark can set the largest forest ablaze, and the smallest word of truth can illuminate the darkest lie." "Then you were the wisest among us today," said the owl. "No," said the cricket, "simply the one who had learned most from my own failures. I too have spoken words that wounded, spread tales that divided, remained silent when truth needed voice. But I learned that while we cannot unsay what has been said, we can always choose what we will say next." The owl flew into the gathering night, and the cricket sang her evening song. A song without words, but full of meaning, rising into the darkness like a prayer. And if you listen carefully on summer nights, you can still hear the crickets singing, reminding all who have ears to hear that the smallest tongues can speak the greatest truths, and that every word we speak is writing the story of who we choose to be. For the tongue is a fire, and like fire, it can warm a home or burn it to the ground. The choice, always and forever, is ours. Selah.